Hi, and welcome on to Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Only one more day to go today, and then tomorrow is the day when the window slams shut. And as you all know, Arsenal have gone out there, they've bought Gabriel, they've bought Bielik, and Wenger saying that more or less his business is done. But there are still rumours flying around today, not a lot of rumours to be honest, but one rumour that just won't go away. It's been existing throughout the transfer window, and again is hot in all of the media outlets out there, is the one about Marco Reus. Now, we're being told that Reus wants to join Arsenal. His preference is to come and play under Arsene Wenger. That is where he sees his future. That is where he would like to play. Of course, we know that Arsenal bid for Reus before, and we're going to move in and activate his release clause. However, Reus got injured and the deal was effectively off. This deal for Reus is very, very, very doubtful. Well, I'd say almost impossible that it will happen in the January transfer window because of a couple of reasons. Number one, his release clause that he has for £20 million does not come into activation until the summer. So it wouldn't make no sense trying to get him now because it would be an astronomical amount of money that you'd have to pay for him. And number two, Borussia Dortmund are actually bottom. Yes, believe it or not, they are bottom of the Bundesliga. And Reus, being a player that's from the Dortmund area, is not going to want to, leave the club in that situation. He's going to want to stay there. The players at Dortmund have a real close affiliation with the fans. I've seen it at first hand. And he's going to want to stay there and try and get them out of that situation. Of course, he's been injured a lot this season as well. So this is one that we're being told is a real summer deal. But we're being told that his preference, Reus, is to work under Arsene Wenger. We know that Liverpool want him. We know that Manchester United want him. We were told that Bayern have pulled out of the race, that they're not really interested in him no more. And Real Madrid, how would they fit him in? They've got so many good players who can play in similar sort of positions. They've got Isco, they've got James Rodriguez, Gareth Bale. If he does go to Real Madrid, will he be just throwing his career down the drain? Might end up hardly ever starting. And we've seen it happen to real talents like Isco, who to me is one of the best midfielders around, but at Real Madrid only gets limited game time. So Marco Reus, possibility in the summer, could be one that Arsenal will be fighting over, but I don't think that that's going to be the exceptional player that we'll be able to get our hands on in this January transfer window. But he's still being linked today in a lot of the newspapers. Another player that's been heavily linked, and again, I think this could be a lot more to do with his agent rather than Arsenal actually being interested in this player, and that is Fabio Contral. Contral, again, is an example of what I'm talking about. A player who plays at Real Madrid, doesn't get a lot of game time no more, sort of fallen out of favour at Madrid with Carlo Ancelotti. I remember when he first went to Madrid, he was absolutely brilliant and really exciting left back. As I said, he's fallen down the pecking order. We were being told at the start of last season that he was all due to go to Manchester United, but he's on some really high wages at Real Madrid, and I think that's what scared off a lot of teams. Plus, as well, remember that Real Madrid paid about £25 million for him, so they're going to want to recoup back a lot of that money. He's been offered around to loads of clubs at the moment, including Arsenal. I can't see this one happening. Contral, left back, we've got Kieran Gibbs, we've got Nacho Monreal, who's playing excellently at the moment. It wouldn't make any sense. I have said that about Jose Luis Gaya, who we've also been linked with from Valencia, as he's a left back, but maybe it could be that he could be considered a player that they could push further forward. But with Contral, he is a defender, and I just can't see they would make any sense for Arsenal to move in for Contral. So again, although that's all over the place today, and that's a rumour that's been spread out there, I can't see that happening tomorrow. Arsenal bringing in Fabio Contral at the last minute, because we just don't need him. A player that is going to be signing, or should I say, he's already one of our players, but Arsenal are looking to sign him to a brand new 5-year contract, and that is Theo Walcott. Theo Walcott, if he signs this 5-year deal, will be at the club until he's 30 years of age. Wow, he's been at the club now for a very long time. He's just had so many injuries that we just never get to see the best of Theo. We see him on a long run, you know, like last season, performing well, then bang, injured. And his career's just been so stop-start at Arsenal. I'd really love to see him get a, you know, run of a couple of seasons injury-free so that we really can see the best of Theo Walcott. But his contract is due to expire in 12 months' time. Arsenal obviously don't want the saga that they had last time with the Theo signed the ting and all that sort of rumours going around. So they're looking to sign Theo Walcott. We've been told that the contract should be put on the table for him to sign this month. That will take him up to another 5 years. So a 5-year contract on the table for Theo Walcott that I'm almost certain that he'll sign. Also, another player that is about to sign a new contract is the player that's been the revelation, you could say, since the start of this year, and that's Francis Coquelin. Coquelin, of course, who's become a very important player all of a sudden in the Arsenal squad. Defensive midfielder is due to sign a new 4-year contract, and that's fully deserved. And what a turnaround for this guy. Been going out to this club, Lorient. He's been going out to Freiburg. He went out to Charlton on loan. His career looked dead in the water, and came back with some magnificent performances. Topped it off with that great one at Manchester City, and that has now earned himself a new contract. An example, I think, to a lot of the young players at Arsenal who are going to be going out on loan now, to say that keep fighting for, you know, you never know. You could earn, you know, circumstances can go your way and you can earn yourself a position in the team. I mean, circumstances certainly went his way. Mikel Arteta being injured, Flamini being injured, him having to be brought back off a loan and put in there, but he sees his opportunity. And, you know, really proud of this guy. He's done brilliantly. You think about it, he been around in the Arsenal team since it was the youth team that used to perform so brilliantly with him, Jack Wilshere, Frimpong. Jack Wilshere done a similar thing to him, went out on loan to Bolton, came back a better player. He's done it. It's just a shame that Emmanuel Frimpong, who was, you know, could have had that role as well, wasn't really focused enough, a bit unlucky with injuries as well, and didn't quite make the grade. But well done to Francis Coquelin. Looks like he'll be signing himself a brand new contract at Arsenal. And that's about it, really. There's lots of other transfer rumours, but to be honest, some of them are so ridiculous, right, that I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to mention them, you know, or a lot of them we've already mentioned on the show. But there's not really a lot of other rumours going around at the moment, because it does seem that Arsenal more or less have done their business. It's going to be interesting tomorrow morning to see if anything sort of props up, any sort of last minute player, because sometimes you do see a few players sort of emerging that may interest Arsenal. But it's going to be very interesting to see. Let's see what you guys have had to say. Remember yesterday I said, I asked the question, what exceptional players do you guys think, because we remember Arsene Wenger said if an exceptional player lands at his door, he's going to have a look at them, he may sign them. Excuse me, I asked the question, what would that exceptional player be? Who do you think we should get? Let's see here. NJ Moalim says Riziki and Santi Cazorla are getting older. He goes, we should go for Reus, Schneiderlin and Lacazette. This is only a dream, but he goes, those are players we should go for. Mesut Ozil says we should put in a 40 million offer for Cavani on deadline day. Cavani is not happy at PSG. Is Cavani worth 40 million? It's been a couple of years now since he's done it, Cavani. Is he worth 40 million pounds? He's a very good player, but is he worth 40 million? That is the question. True Gooder says we don't have any money left to make the big deals in January. We spent 2.5 million on Bielik and 11.5 million on Gabriel, and he has performance payments to Villarreal of 2 million. He says if he performs at a high level within 2 years. We barely have any money to make a dent for any player anymore, right? He sounds like Ivan Gazidis. Listen, Arsenal have got money. They have still got money that they could go out there and make a big deal. But I'm kind of with you. They're not going to splash out on a mega deal unless it is that real. Say a Reus, somebody like that became available for a right price tomorrow. I'm sure Arsene Wenger would move, but it has to be somebody of that sort of standard to me, or an absolute bargain that they just can't refuse. Raju says, to be honest, no one. I don't think we're going to get no one. He says, look at the squad, Robbie. He said, we don't want any more players. Our defence now looks promising. Going up the line, Coughlin's been exceptional. And with Flamini backed up and Wilshere coming back, and oh my, don't start with the attacking department, because we've got players like Ozil and Walcott that's coming back. And remember, Arsene Wenger saying, and he got a lot of criticism for this, that's one of the reasons why he moved on Podolski, because he just couldn't see where he'd be able to play. And if you see a lot of the players coming back, you can kind of see his thinking on that. Podolski wanted to play week in, week out. He'd had enough of sitting on the bench. He wouldn't have played week in, week out, so it made sense for him to go out on that loan. Couple more here. Debo says, like I've said in the past, Wenger will not sign anybody. He signed Gabriel. What do you mean he won't sign anybody? But he said, even if the exceptional player becomes available, he said Arsenal will only sign them if none of the other top clubs don't want them. This is why Arsenal continue to be inferior to other top teams in Europe, because we're unambitious. Come on. Alexis Sanchez has been an amazing signing. As a matter of fact, he's made good signings. Welbeck has been a good signing. He's made good signings, Arsene Wenger. He's made good signings recently. The only thing is what he should have done in the summer was made that defensive signing. This Gabriel signing looks to be, if the guy performs to what we're hearing, looks to be a good signing for that sort of price. And as well, not a lot of good top-class centre-backs around. So I think he's done okay, Arsene Wenger, in recent times. And they have splashed the cash. £40 million on Mesut Ozil. £35 million on Alexis Sanchez. It's a lot of money. So they are spending now. Arsenal Pride of London says Mandzukic and Gustavo or Schneiderlin will do. And let's just get one more in here. Ifuk, he says, if Arsenal were to get Reus, the only position he could play is as a striker, since there's no space in midfield, but he can still kill it in that position because he's a complete forward. If these rumours are true, it will be amazing. £20 million for a superstar. What an absolute bargain. Again, that will be another one of those deals that will be very hard to get over the line. But I definitely think that come the summer, Reus will be available. There's going to be a clear out of Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund are bottom of the Bundesliga. Yes, bottom of the Bundesliga. Their chances of getting into the Champions League are very, very slim. I think they'd have to win the Champions League to get into it next season, which means that players like Hummels, Reus, Gundogan, Mkhitaryan, all of those players are going to be available because, you know, they're going to want Champions League football, no matter what their love is for Borussia Dortmund. So there will be some sort of clear out of Dortmund, and Reus, I think, will be the one that will be spearheading that clear out. Big game today, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Let's hope that Arsenal can continue that momentum that we've shown, beating Brighton, beating Manchester City. Can't take Aston Villa lightly, even though they've been having a hard time of it recently. Arsenal got to go out there and play their best possible game as usual, put the best in. If we do that, I'm sure we'll get a victory, and it'd be interesting to see if Gabriel gets his debut. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily. Back tomorrow with the final Transfer Daily of the January transfer window. And also, we will be at the Emirates tomorrow, checking on to see if anybody does sign at the last minute. So make sure you check us out down there as well. Thanks for watching today.